guys. So, I know it's super late, and I'm really sorry, but I just kept putting off making my January TBR and putting it off and putting it off and whatever. We're just gonna roll with it, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna read a bunch of stuff that I'm probably not gonna read, but that's fine. That's fine. I lied to you. That's fine. So what I want to try to do this month is to finish out everything that has just been sitting on my currently reads on Goodreads for like the entirety of last year. So I want to get them done and just have a clean slate on Goodreads. I mean, I can dream. So the first thing I finally want to finish is Ready Player One. This is kind of new. This is one of the newer ones that's been sitting on my Goodreads reading list. Yeah, I mean, I started it, I'm not that far in, but it's really good, and I really liked it when I was reading it, but then I just stopped, and I need to read this before the movie comes out in March. So yeah, I'm gonna read it, hopefully. The next thing I want to finish is The Blinding Knife by Brent Weeks. I loved The Black Prism. I loved the series. I started this book last year, and then I went backpacking across Japan, and you know, I read it on the plane, but then I got to Japan and I was in Japan, and who has time to read when they're in Japan? Too many owls to, I'll put a picture, too many owls to hold and kimonos to wear and Tokyo sky trees to climb. I had too many things to do. So I'm pretty far in. I'm on page 448. Oh, what's foreigner disembarkment form? But yeah, so I want to get this done and hopefully move on to the third book in the series. The next thing I want to finish, I've been slowly reading this. It just hasn't really been able, not keep my, it's so dense, and it's one of those things that you're bound to read slower than like YA or romance or contemporary or anything, just because the world is so lush and there's just so much you need to retain, and that is Tower Lord by Anthony Ryan. I loved Bloodsong. I'm loving this book, but I just, every time I think about picking it up, it's just like, oh, I could read like 50 pages of that, or I could read like an entire 300-page YA book or romance or something, and then it's just been slow going. I'm almost halfway through it, but I really just want to get this done because it's so good. Why is my brain like this? To finish out the books that I started and are on my Goodreads currently reading list is The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson. I started this last month. I tried to participate in a buddy read. Turns out I suck at buddy reads. But I want to keep going in the world, and I did start it. I got, 38 pages in. It was good to be back in the world. I kind of need a refresher from the Mistborn books, I feel like. Let me go again. You see, just random. This is bookmarks. I have bookmarks, got a whole cup of them. What do I use? This is a dentist bill. But yeah, Alloy of Law. I want to read it. Why? Brain, why? On to the things I'm more likely to read. Last month unofficially turned into the month of Lauren. I was lucky enough to just start BookTube and find an awesome group of friends, and their book recommendations are amazing. So last month unofficially becoming the month of Lauren from the novel Lush. I'll leave a link to her channel down below. And then this month I wanted to officially make it the month of Leanna from Leanna's Library. So she really wants me to read Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I always had this book kind of like on my radar, but I never picked it up. I don't own it. It's in the mail, so I can't start it quite yet, but I'm gonna get to it this month. As Leanna says, I have to read it. It's just, I love The Gentleman Bastards, and in my head I was like, this is gonna just be like a kid version of The Gentleman Bastards, so I never bothered with it, but Leanna says it's awesome, so we'll see. And The Diabolic. This, I think Leanna read this twice last year. She actually wants me to read this before Six of Crows, but Six of Crows just sounds more interesting. And then she told me there were boys kissing in Six of Crows, so we all know I'm gonna read Six of Crows. But I want to read this too. This is actually November 20th. This is the arc. I've had this arc a few months before this book came out. We got it at Barnes & Noble, and then I was like, ooh, that's a cool butterfly. And so I took it home, and I have never read it. I'm a bad human, but it's fine. The last thing I want to try to start, not because necessarily it's what Leanna recommends, but my group of friends is always referencing it, and I'm out of the loop. I have no idea what they're talking about, and that is the ACOTAR, something, whatever, Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Sarah J. Maas and I have never gotten along. I don't enjoy her books. Sorry, Sarah J. Maas. But I want to be in. I want to know what they're talking about when they're talking about and or making fun of or referencing these books. So I've got them. They're on my Kindle. It's gonna happen. I want to be part of this. I want to be in the club too, guys. That, I think, is going to do it for my January TBR. Already halfway through the month. And I think I just said I was going to read like 10. Yeah, I just said I was going to read like 9 books. So, good thing I don't have a life. Comment down below. Let me know what you've read so far this month, what you're going to read this month. Come hang out with me. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.